Hi, everybody. This is Christina from Triathlon Mommy, Dastrom Coaching, and Dastrom Run Clubs. And I help moms just like you start a profitable children's fitness program in your community with 3 outcomes so that you can earn income. This is a business, so that you can get fit both in your body, but also in your mindset. And third, and most importantly, that you can really impact your community with our amazing empowerment curriculum where we teach the kids character building skills through running games. That was a mouthful. But so I come in this group on Tuesdays and I do a strategy or a business or a tactic presentation about business, right? About starting your business. And today's topic, it's one of those that ebbs and flows between the mindset and business strategy. Because on Wednesdays I come and I talk about mindset. So I had a hard time defining where I was going to put this training, but I know that it's important and I know that it's also a big topic. So we might have to come back to it and continue a conversation about this. But the question is this: can you be the mom that you want to be and an entrepreneur at the same time? And the answer to that has 2 sides. A lot of it has to do with your mindset, with your belief system, and a lot of it has to do with your business and strategy and tactics. So we're going to focus today's discussion more on this tactics side versus the mindset side. But I will touch on the mindset very briefly. And the thing is this, like, I don't know one person or one mom that hasn't had this thought. If I'm an entrepreneur or if I'm focusing on my business, then I can't be the mom that I want to be. Then I won't be available for my kids as I am now. Or then I won't be, you know, have so much structure in my day that then I can't do this. Like, it's like you're afraid of changing who you are as a mother now to become a different type of mother as an entrepreneur. And it feels like you're going to give something up in order to create something different. And I'm here to tell you that mindset wise, like that's a story and that's a belief that's not necessarily true. So sure, things might change, but they also might change for the better. And so all I need you to do at this very hot moment is be open to the possibility that you can do both, that you can be a successful entrepreneur and that you can be the mother that you want. And it may look a little bit different than what it looks like today, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or whether you're a working mom outside of the house, but working for somebody else. So it might look a little bit different, but you can do both. You can be the mother that you want to be, and you can be an entrepreneur. And as long as you have that inkling of the possibility, of the ability to think that this is in fact possible and true for you, then you're able to listen to the next part of this presentation, which talks about the business and strategies of it. But unless you dispense the criticism, before we even start, you won't be able to listen to the rest of this conversation. Okay? So we're on the same page here? Okay. So, right now we're coming into this part of the conversation thinking it could be true, it could be possible for me that I can do both, right? From a belief system, from a mindset system. So when we bring it to reality, right, to the business side of it, the truth is that for most of us, we're not just an entrepreneur, we are a mompreneur. So, we're mothers as well as entrepreneurs, but we're also most often a solopreneur. That means that you do everything. You do your own advertising, you do your own systems, you do your own content, you do your own coaching, you do it all, right? And it's all on you. So that is a big shift and that is a big responsibility. And so in order for you to be able to be all those things, to be a solopreneur a mompreneur, that entrepreneur, you need to have systems in place to support you, because you cannot do it all the time, right? Like that is like, I mean, you can, but your health might suffer for it, or it will come out in other places. So you have to build the systems that is going to be able to support you in being that solopreneur, that mompreneur, and being that family mom that you want to be. So, unless you need to create that support from somewhere. And that support from somewhere comes in the shape of systems and comes in the shape of strategies. So, in other words, it's much, let's say that you have a full-time job, and now with this pandemic, you're at home and you're trying to do this full-time job, and your kids are home, and there's a good chance that we're not going back to school in the fall, at least not full-time. So it's like this overwhelming feeling. Okay. If you were to be like, stop the insanity, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, and you're going to sit there and you're going to think about, well, what business can I start? And how am I going to, and like, what is a good idea? And what is the product? And what is the service? And da, 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 da. That, my dear friends, that takes a lot of effort. Been there, done that. I've got the t-shirt. I can share it with you if you want. So when you're going to move into that world of entrepreneurship, or if you're a stay-at-home mom and you're thinking of ideas, that initial jump of, of where you are to where you're going, that first leap, that's the hardest leap. And if you don't have anything to catch you on the other side, not only is it hard, it's also scary. So the one thing that you can look at is, what can I do that fits me into a model that I'm aligned with, right? So franchises, I hate to say the word, but MLMs, but you're not going to make any money with MLMs, or a business like ours where you give the strategy, but replicate, right? Or get a model that already exists and implement it successfully. So you can make that switch from a mom to a mompreneur if you have something on the other side to catch, if you have that strategy, if you have a model to follow, something to replicate. Okay, that's one. And then you have to build the systems around it. So you don't need, and when I say the systems, is like you have to automate as much as you can. So what I mean is, like, you don't have to be the one that sends out reminder emails. That stuff can be done automatically. You don't have to be the one that, I don't know, confirms things. That can be done automatically. In my business, I don't have to be the one that schedules my appointments. I have an automatic scheduler. There's certain things that you can automate. There's systems that you can put in place in order for your business to run more smoothly. So you don't have to do it all, right? That's like the main point. So first point was, you can borrow somebody's strategy. You can replicate somebody's program or somebody's thing. You can build systems to help you support that. And you can also hire support. So support doesn't mean like you have to have a staff and then you're going to have to make sure that you can come up with their salary or things like that. Like, no, like we start out small. We don't need all of that, but you might need somebody to help you with social media, or you might need somebody to help you with bookkeeping. And that is okay, because then you are kind of dispersing away the things, or like outsourcing the tasks that are time suckers and that's not in your zone of genius, so that you focus on the things that you want. Okay. And then the last thing that you need to become really good at in order to be a mom and an entrepreneur, and a successful entrepreneur, is time management. So there's a saying, and it's like, ask, if you want something to be done, Ask a busy person, because a busy person is going to be like, oh my gosh, how do I fit it in? Okay, I can fit it in here, da, 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 done. If you're not a busy person, it's like, well, I have all day to do that. I'll get to it. Like, I don't have to worry about it right now. And then you keep putting it off until eventually you have like other things to do. Like, there is no structure. What is structured? And when there is a deadline, that's when things get done. So you have to master your time, because we all have the same 24 hours a day. Is what you do in those 24 hours a day that's going to make a difference. So if you become a master of your time management, that you schedule things like, this is the time that I'm going to do my work. This is the time that I'm going to be really, exercising. This is the time when I'm going to be with my kids. This is the time where we're going to have dinner together. When you have those structures in place, then it gives you the opportunity to do all kinds of things. And that is so non-intuitive for somebody like me, because my story before I became an entrepreneur was like, I'm a creative type. Like, I can't just block time to write something. It's like, it's when inspiration hits me, or, things like that. And that story wasn't serving me, because it was making it very messy in order to be a mom and to be a writer and to do the things that I wanted to do. So, time management is critical in order for you to feel like you have the time to do everything that you want to do, but also to feel like you are giving your kids what they deserve, what they want, what you want to give them. You literally block time out of your day to make sure that you get that time with them. Okay. So we've covered 4 things. You strategy, like replicate somebody's business, get into a program like ours, or a franchise, or something where you don't have to reinvent the wheel, where the product, the program, the service is already built, so that you don't have to go and figure all of that out. The figuring out of it takes a long time, it takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of money, which you may not want to be investing right now. The second is build the systems, the automation, that so that a lot of these tasks can be done automatically without you having to do it every single time. The third is to outsource things that you can outsource, like bookkeeping or social media or whatever is not in your zone of genius that are time suckers. Outsource it, so that you can have then the time that that the 24 hours that you have, you spend them in the way that you want to spend them, with enough sleep, with enough time for your family, with enough time for your kids, and with enough time for your work. So if you master that, then you can do everything. Okay. And that is how you can be both a mom and a mompreneur and an entrepreneur. Like, it's not necessarily, it's easy. No, contrary. It's simple. It's not necessarily easy. So when it comes to a children's fitness program, because this is what this group is about, I want to tell you a little bit about our moms and the experiences that we have as being moms and entrepreneurs. So when you join our program, or moms that join our program, we give you our program, our strategy, our tactics. So you don't have to think like, okay, how do I do this? Like, let me see, who can I talk to? Or let me spend hours on Google trying to figure out games that I can play with the kids so that they can run around. Like, you don't have to do any of that. It's all laid out for you. Right. So the transition is easy. The strategy is there. The tactics are there. The like step-by-step details of what you have to do. So that's number one. The second thing is that this is a program, this is a business where you can involve your children, because it is a children's fitness program. So my kids went to Run Club for like 4 years, and they've learned the lessons. In fact, some of the games that we played, we was created with them, because we made up games and they would help me. So my children are definitely a part of my business. First when they were little, Um, they were engaged in the club. They were part, they were part of my class. And now that they're a little bit older, they are kind of strategists with me. So they were assistant coaches. They were, obviously, if they were 12, they're not going to be an assistant coach of my middle school class. But if I was working with the preschoolers or with the kindergarteners, they could help me. They were part of it. They were part of my marketing team in terms of trying to get kids to enroll in my program. And I see that not just for me, but for many of my clients. So when my clients have really young kids, like 3 years old or 4, like they're not going to be, or 2 years old, um, they they usually, what they do is that they bring the kids with them to the class, to the field, but they'll have a babysitter, they'll have somebody there in the field with them, but they can't be paying attention to the children, right? They have 15 kids and somebody else's kids. You've got to pay attention to those kids. But you do involve your kids and you do bring them. When they're a little bit older, they can participate in the class with you. And they become your students. And, it's actually a really wonderful experience for some of us, sometimes not so much. And that's something that you would have to learn, and you will learn how to handle that. And when they're a little bit older, some of our moms, I have one mom whose daughter was like so into it that she's like, we should create water bottles so that kids have water bottles. And so she wanted to design her water bottles so that she could have her business of water bottles go together with her mom's business of Run Club. And I think they're still thinking about it, and they're working on it, and they're going to do it. So you can involve the kids in all those different things. And when a child sees you as an entrepreneur, they're going to learn so much from you, right? They're going to see what values you need, what the dedication is, the different aspects of the business, how are you going to face challenges and how you're going to overcome those challenges, the tenacity that you need, the grit and the resilience, the creativity, the how you face things. They're going to see the different aspects, like your cost structure, your profits, and how much income you're making. Like they're going to have a view of business that they won't, like, that's going to be a part of who they are, is something that, like, they'll go to business school later to learn these things, but they're getting it from when their kids are at like a cellular level, at their level. And I have to tell you, my kids are so empowered because of that. And even today, I don't coach necessarily in the field anymore, but my kids are a really big part of my business still, because they have seen its progress and they have seen what it takes to create that. And those lessons are super valuable for them as future business people or future entrepreneurs, but also as human beings, also as the values that it takes to have a vision and to make it through. So can a mom be a mompreneur? Absolutely. And when you think of yourself as like, yeah, well, that might work for you, but it might not work for me, it's like, don't listen to those stories, because it's not true. It just isn't. Like, you can have it all. You can, but you can't have it all at the same time, or you can't have it all by next Tuesday. You just have to create the systems that support the life structure that you want. Does that make sense? I hope so. So if you are listening to this and you're like, okay, I can be a mom and I can be an entrepreneur, I can run a business and be the mom that I want to be, and starting a children's program is what you like, then make sure that you book a call and let's talk. My schedule is getting super busy because right now, there's so much more interest on this alternative ways of moms of making income and being with their kids with all that's going on in this world. So if you don't find a time on a day that suits you, just try back the next day. My schedule opens every 3 days, and then you would be likely to find a time. So, or leave a comment below or reach out to me in some other way, and we'll try to get you in. And, you know, Go for it. Don't let the mindset of being a mompreneur stop you from doing something that could be so great for you, for your family, for your children, for your community. There's just no reason not to do it. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. I'm going to post a link down below if you want to book your call, and it's dsrunclub.com/apply. And I will see you tomorrow for our mindset training. Take care, everybody.